In March of 2023, the approval of the Willow project became a point of national controversy as the largest oil endeavor proposed on U.S. soil to date. Located in the National Petroleum Reserve of Alaska, a 23 million acre reserve of Arctic wilderness, the project sits within 30 kilometers of the Inupiat village of Nuiqsut and 300 kilometers from Teshkapuk Lake, a protected area critical for threatened migratory birds and a major carbon sink. ConocoPhillips proposed extracting 600 million barrels of oil from this drill site over a 30-year period. The Bureau of Land Management applied the synoptic planning approach, preparing an environmental impact statement comparing alternatives, but ultimately prioritizing economic prosperity despite known and indeterminable ecological risks. Activist groups like Earth Justice opposed the project for inadequate climate oversight. Some North Slope communities supported the project for the promise of jobs and revenue, but the village of Nuiqsut, most proximal to the project, voiced their concern for the illegitimate planning process that sidelined them, despite the project's direct impact on their subsistence activities. Meanwhile, the Biden administration avoided direct intervention. As the project disproportionately impacts a minority group while generating billions for governments and the oil giant ConocoPhillips, the project naturally grabbed viewers' attention. However, this carbon bomb remained generally undetected from 1999 to 2020, looming in the pre-problem stage. In early 2023, it entered the alarm discovery second stage as Biden's pending decision sparked viral activism. This was followed by lawsuits and protests, but ultimately enthusiasm faded as the realization of costs set in. By late 2023, coverage declined, marking the gradual decline of interest, and by 2025, Willow reached the post-problem stage as attention shifted to broader policy rollbacks under the Trump administration. The Willow project pits mutually incompatible values against each other, environmental protection versus economic prosperity, making it a complex mess to address. For Nuiqsut residents and environmental advocates, priorities center the critical ecological landscapes, species, and subsistence activities that the project directly threatens. These interests are incompatible with the much-needed jobs and economic growth that would come from drilling on this land. This conflict is then compounded by the uneven distribution of costs and benefits. Local communities bear the health and cultural risks, while corporate and federal actors reap the financial rewards. The mayor of Nuiqsut cites, as oil is exported around the globe, our communities in the Arctic are left to contend with the health impacts of pollution, as well as the devastation that comes from dramatic changes to the land, like sea ice melt, permafrost thaw, and coastal erosion. While the administration is fully aware of these serious risks, and even outlines them in the environmental impact statement, they subject the village to these risks regardless. They commit to monitoring impacts as they occur, but do not identify thresholds or any action if those thresholds are exceeded, leaving the community of Nuiqsut completely exposed. The project's timescale then amplifies these risks, determining the consequences of drilling near a large carbon sink, disrupting caribou migration and food security 30 years down the line, is nearly indeterminable. The BLM's synoptic planning model that gave way to the project failed to address the conflict and uncertainty baked into this complex problem. Despite oil drilling being a critical intersection of economic interest and environmental concern, the synoptic model opts for a singular, goal-oriented focus, often the one that pays them, undertaking massive ecological and social risks for the surrounding villages. The village of Nuiqsut criticized the BLM for their attempt to break their life and culture into technical, solvable problems to allow the project to continue. The BLM's environmental impact statement addresses these risks individually with passive monitoring. This top-down planning style came from scientists and managers at the BLM and failed to involve the voices of the U.S. citizens most affected by the project, the Nuiqsut people. The village makes their dissatisfaction known in a letter that addresses the illegitimacy of their participation. Instead of collaborating, the BLM prioritized experts and technical fixes, sidelining the Nuiqsut people's extensive knowledge and expertise that they've gained over a millennia, living deeply connected to the land that they're about to drill. They criticized this placation, noting nothing the city and native village provided during the supplemental environmental impact statement process is mentioned. Ultimately, the illegitimate public involvement failed to address the interests and risks of the people living closest to the project, and only opened the door to citizen action from the village of Nuiqsut and the rest of the United States.